Hello YouTube. Yeah, it's right by the chair right there. Ready to go. Thanks for dropping by the channel. This is Mr. Gibson Guy and doing one other video on the varying levels of radiation in radioactive lenses, radioactive optical glass and lenses. And we're going to be looking at how it's, what the measurements are and what the levels are. I happen to have, I have just about 50 lenses right now, and about 47 of them you can put on the Geiger counter all day long and it'll never show anything. But 3 of them you put on the Geiger counter, and either obviously or unobviously, one way or another, if you check it long enough, you will find some radiation coming from those lenses. One is very radioactive, one is somewhat radioactive, and one is reluctantly radioactive. That is that it does give off a radiation signature on the Geiger counter, but you got to be patient to get it, because not only are there different levels, but also radiation from anything that's radioactive is not constant. It's increasing and decreasing constantly, as we're going to look at on the on the Geiger counter here. I'll show you. We'll get a close-up of it in just a minute. On the Olympus here, I have a lens that I acquired. Actually, I had 2 of them, and I've done a video on it before, but it was kind of an inconclusive video, because this lens, it turns out, it is radioactive. It does have some thorium fluoride in it, but very little, and you can only catch it occasionally when it starts to flare up in radioactivity, which it does every couple of minutes. All of a sudden, well, I'll tell you this and then I'll show you on the Geiger counter, because it keeps a reading in here. On my Geiger counter, the usual ambient radioactivity in the house, outside, in the whole area, what we get from the sun and from the cosmos and everything, there is certain amounts of radiation that everybody is experiencing all the time. And according to my Geiger counter, that is what registers the continual rate of radioactivity in 0.07 millivolts. I think I said that right, the way they measure radioactivity. And so if you have a lens that is basically 0.10 millivolts, then you put it on here and it would show up as 0.10. But if it was like 0.05 millivolts, the ambient radiation is 0.07, so 0.05 doesn't show up. But sometimes it's 0.05, sometimes it's 0.07, sometimes it's 0.8, sometimes it's 0.10, or no, 0.10, or as you'll see here, sometimes it can go up to 0.15, which is more than double the ambient radiation. But those all come out differently. So when you first put the Geiger counter up to the lens on this picture, yeah, it's in the picture a little bit, it's going to say 0.07. But if you keep it there for a minute or 2 or 3, all of a sudden it'll jump up to 0.08 and then it'll go back down again. And you will hold it there a little bit longer to go 0.10, 0.10. Okay, 0.10. And then it'll go back to 7. Then it might go up to 12, might go back up to 10. It fluctuates back and forth. It's staying at the 0.07 or below, but every once in a while it pops up and pops up. And the Geiger counter has has several different features of it. I have to keep reactivating it here. One is that it gives you the current reading right now. And with a reluctant lens like this, if you want to see a change, you got to sit there and look at it and hold that Geiger counter to it and give it some time, and then it'll pop up and it'll give you some. But it also gives you the highest reading taken since you turned it on. This one's been on for an hour now, but I noticed in just a few minutes of it being on, it came up to 0.15. That's quite a bit. That's a lot of difference. And then it went back down to 0.12, 0.8, 0.07. But I'm going to, because it holds it here, I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. See if I can see it myself. Because I got to use my pen for pointer here. Alright, so I think you can see these. There, maybe now you can see it a little bit better. 0.07. See that? I hope you can see it. I can't tell from the monitor. And then down below here, it has the average 0.07, which is what it is most of the time. And then it gives the highest reading. And you'll see it says 0.15 is the highest readings. Also, since this has been on, it's gone up to 0.43. This is a total for when it's on and when it's off. And this started out in the 0.35 or something when I turned this on an hour ago. And I've just had it plugged in for auxiliary power, so it will stay on there. But 0.07 is the ambient radiation. 0.15 is the highest reading that this has taken since it was switched off. Now, I told you this is the reluctant one on the Olympus. It's radioactive, but it's just barely radioactive. I'll show you a couple of others. So we can see some comparison. I'm going to start with the Minolta. This is the MCW Wide Rocore X SI Sports Illustrated. No, it's not Sports Illustrated. And this is a 28 millimeter f2.5, which is one of their older lenses, but this one has some reluctant radioactivity to it. And yeah, I just went up to 8 just for being by there. Now, watch this. I'm going to take the reading off the front element. See that? Oh, 0.12, 0.13, 0.12. There, we'll brighten it. 0.13, 0.12, 0.10, 0.12, 0.13. It doesn't usually get to 2.2. It'll stay around 1.2, 1.3, something like that on the front element. But mostly in thorium lenses, the thorium element is at the rear of the lens, not at the front of the lens. So if you measure this one from the front, let's see what happens. 0.12, 0.10, 12, 13, 15. Oh, it's going up. 13. See that? Okay. 12, 12, 0.8, 0.10, 0.08, 10. Goes back and forth there. So, it's been used in reading the Olympus instead of this one. So that, well, this is not doing too much today. It's just staying right there. All right, 13. We're going to wake up a little bit. We had a 1.5, I know. What's going on? Been reading too long here? All right, well, we'll put that one away. So that gives a little bit more active of a reading. You saw it keeps changing. That was the point. And now the Pentax. This one is the real go-getter. All right, here we are. And we'll try front element first. See what we can get here. This one gets going. Let's see. Don't make a liar out of me. This is, you got to do this for the sake of the video. 0.12. That's all we're getting today. What is with this? 1.5, 1.7. Now we're waking up. Come on, let's go. Keep going. 1.8, 1.7. Oh, 0.22. 2.0, 2.2, 2.2, 2.4, 2.2, 2.4, 2.2. That's all we're going to get off the front element is 0.24. 2.7, there we go. Do I hear 2.5? No. 2.5, 2.0. So we move that up to 2.7. See here in the top reading here, it's gone up to 2.7. 2.5, 2.4. Next, we're not going to hit 3. So let's see what this is our last chance here. Rear element of this 50 millimeter f1.4 SMC super multi-coated SHI Pentax. Here we go. Oh, now we got some blinking going on here. 25, 34, here we go. 38, 42, 46, 38. Oh, go on, get the juice going here. 50, 54, 58. Oh, here we go. We set off the warning. 70, 74, 78, 82, 86, 90, 86. Yeah, this is the radioactive lens here. This has got all the thorium. 94, 98. Come on, let's get into the ones here. 98, 94, 98, 102. There we go. Yeah, we got some radioactivity going on with this lens. All right, so that obviously is the very radioactive lens. Should get down to 60 here and stop there. When it hits 60, this is set on 60 right here, so that's what stops it. So, if the radioactive level is very low, we have to hold it on the Geiger counter just to get it to start to read something. But if there's a lot of radioactivity, like in this SHI Pentax lens, then it's going to start sending off, shooting off the alarms real fast. There it is. There. Pentax MX, great old camera. Pentax, or Minolta XK, or in this case an X1, one of the very first ones. This is a great old camera too, with a really great lens on it. Boy, that's heavy. And this little Olympus, the OM4 Ti titanium. It's my favorite camera. This is really cool. I like that. But I finally figured out how to get the Geiger counter to display the reluctant radiation in the Olympus Zuiko 28mm f3.5 lens. And you can take a look here at this one more time. Back to 0.07. But look at that, it ran 105, 10. Can't see it without my glasses. 102, I think it says, is the max one that was put out there. So that's the readings on the Geiger counter for very active radioactive and very passive radioactive. So we got to see all those radioactive lenses there. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you found this helpful. I'll have to put in a link to tell you where my radiation detector, that's what they call it here, Geiger counter, came from. There, shut off. Alright, until next time, this is Mr. Gibson Guy, and I'll see you later.